Seasonal and holiday learning, it doesn't have to be just for little kids. It can be for bigger kids. It just may look a little different. When our kids are young, you hop onto Pinterest or onto blogs and you'll find all kinds, 52 activities to do this winter or whatever. And those are great. And it is absolutely age appropriate for younger kids. But as they get older, we start losing that idea of adding in those things because we can feel like it's just about the craft or the activity and cute idea to put on Instagram. But it's also just fun to have something different. And as our kids get older, I just felt like we had to buckle down and get serious. And it's true that the expectations of what needs to be done in a day changes and grows as they get older. But it doesn't mean that you can't add other things in and that it can't be educational. I'm not talking about just adding something in because it's fun without any educational value to it. Okay, so today I'm going to share 3 ideas for you to do this fall. If you want any more, there's a link down below. And I know it's kind of late in the season. It just occurred to me to do this. So I apologize. I am planning to do this for future seasons, and I'll try to do it a little bit earlier. In fact, I'm working on one right now for winter, and I'm going to plan to have that up before Thanksgiving. So do stay tuned, and I'll try to be on it. I'm sure it's not a surprise to you that I'm doing it last minute. Now, as you guys know, I've been on a journey the past couple of years to reclaim some joy in our homeschool because we'd gotten to the point where it was just drudgery and getting things done. And I didn't like that. Or I got to the point where I didn't like it, I should say. So adding in something different occasionally is one of the ways that I've been doing that and adding it in. So, for example, recently yesterday, Fat Bear Week just finished, and I've shared with you guys about that. It is if you don't know, it's a bracket-style competition hosted by Katmai National Park in Alaska to bring attention to bears and celebrate the hibernation process and all of that and everything that's involved in that. So we've learned a ton about how bears act and their life cycles and keystone species and salmon and the geography of the area, all of those kind of things. And it's we spend 2 weeks on it. And it's a great way to learn something that's seasonally appropriate, but there's still educational value in it. Today is National Fossil Day. I didn't know that was a thing until I saw it on Facebook this morning from one of the national park pages. Again, one day where you just spend some time learning about fossils. Seasonally appropriate because it's the holiday, but it's just one day and it's just some educational value, or spread it out, whatever you want to do. Those were 2 ideas I've already given you, and I didn't mean to include either one of those. Those are not the 3 that I was going to share. So apparently you're going to get 5 ideas today. I'm rather chatty today. I apologize. Thank you. I'm not going to apologize for being chatty. I'm not going to. Thank you. Hello, my boys. They're being chatty as well. So, where was I? Third idea would be something from StoryCorps. And if you don't know StoryCorps, they are, I don't know if they're a nonprofit or what they are, an organization that records the stories of everyday people. And they all get saved through the Library of Congress. If you listen to NPR, you probably hear them on Friday mornings. Anyway, they are a fantastic program. And the idea is really just to capture the stories of everyday people whose lives directly impact others, but not on a big scale. So they have a program called The Great Thanksgiving Lesson. And the idea is for your kids to capture stories from older family and friends. We've done this twice now, and it has been absolutely fantastic. There's a few different ways you can do this. So I'm going to give you the variety of levels here. If you want just something that's no prep, totally basic, they have little placemats that you can print out that have conversational questions on them. Print them out, or just print out one copy and put it at your Thanksgiving table or whatever holiday table you've got coming up, or a family gathering, and just chat about the stories. The questions are really interesting and are not just like, tell me about when you were a kid. Not things like that. They really are meant to capture like a specific story or two from other people. And they are so, so good. So that's level 1, basic, very little prep, anything to do for you. Next level would be that you take those questions and have your kids sit down with someone, a grandparent, a family friend, whatever, record it, either voice memo or on video, and do it more of an interview style. Your kids can pick a few questions to ask and do it that way. A third level, if you want to make this into a longer thing, and I should pause right here and say this is totally adaptable to all ages of kids. So I think actually all of my ideas are. So whether you have young kids, older high school students, it's super adaptable. The third level would be to hop onto the Great Thanksgiving Listens website and grab their lesson plans. They have a whole thing laid out to teach your kids about interview techniques, learning to listen, learning to write good questions. I think the ones that are specifically about like interviewing techniques and stuff are from NPR journalists. You're learning from true experts on these. It is a fantastic way to capture those little stories before your family, before it's too late. Not to be dramatic, but before you're, we get older and we die. So, Great Thanksgiving Lesson of the ideas I'm going to give you, that would be my number one suggestion to do. The next one is what I have titled Creating America, and that's what I called it with my kids. Obviously, it's a political election season, and this isn't about like candidates. It's about how did America come to be? Now, I have a bunch of ideas, resource ideas for this. I will have that on my blog post linked down below because there's a bunch of them, so it's just easier to do that. But the ideas I was putting them all together to use, we started this a couple of years ago, was focusing on what does it mean to be a United States citizen? What does it mean? Like how is our election season different? How is our voting different? What ideas and beliefs unite us? What do we have in common? And how did we come to be? Not like as like the founding of America exactly, but how did they decide on the government we have? How did women get the right to vote? How did Black people get the right to vote? All of these things that have built us to who we are. And then a few resources of like, who can we become? How do we become even better? And how do we become a better version of ourselves? And there's one that we are doing right now, a little series that has been a lot of fun. It's called America from Scratch. It's a series, I think, of 10 videos. And in each one, like if we were starting over, how would we do it? So one of them was like, should judges be elected? Should the voting age be younger? Those sorts of things. And they don't tell you, the videos aren't telling you which way to believe, just giving you ideas and thoughts about the topic. So we've been doing those and coming together and doing our own discussions about it. It's been a lot of fun. So, Creating America. And the last section are actually two things, writing ones. One is called NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month. And the other one is called Write Out. And this one is new to me. Write Out is actually happening, I think it's the next 2 weeks. And it's by national parks. And its goal is to just move your writing outside. There are different ideas, activities, writing prompts, that kind of thing. But really, it's just about being outside in nature, writing out there, letting the creativity that your mind experiences, being in a different place and being within nature, and write. That's as simple as that. There are activities, like I said, on the link. So grab that, or just grab your whatever writing you're doing and go outside. It's an easy idea too. The other one, National Novel, NaNoWriMo, is obviously what it sounds like, a program that's free with the goal of writing a novel theoretically in a month. Now, obviously, that is a lot to do and would require a good chunk of your days. But it doesn't have to be the whole thing. You can get started with it. You can take longer than a month. There are free lesson plans. You can also buy a workbook from Amazon. And again, these are by a variety of ages. So they have them like K2, 3, 5, 6, 8, and then 9, 12, I think are the 4. You can buy a workbook, and I think they're 15, pretty reasonable. And you can go through it. You can go through the writing process of a novel. Spend the year if you want to do it. But right now, in November, they will have different writing challenges, work times. There's a whole Young Writers program version of it. Adults too. So if you wanted to get in on the act, that would be fantastic. So there are special activities which make it seasonally appropriate. I mean, not really fall season, just NaNoWriMo season. I will see you in the next video.